Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Agung Mursaling. I'm from P Basic class, and in this video, I would like to explain my answers about written discourse. Okay, so without further ado, I'll just gonna start with the question number one. Okay, so what do you know of written discourse analysis? Explain your answer in detail and give examples. Okay, so written discourse analysis, or WTA, is the study of how written texts are organized, structured, and interpreted in particular social contexts. It does not only focus on vocabulary and grammar, but also examines how ideas are connected to create a meaningful, coherent, and readable text. According to Halliday and Hassan, 1976, a text is not merely a collection of sentences, rather, it is a semantic unit whose meaning is shaped by the relationship between language forms and the context in which the text is produced. So written discourse analysis investigates how writers organize information, maintain coherence, use cohesive device, and follow particular text patterns to achieve communication goals. And through discourse analysis, researchers can identify whether a text follows accepted conventions and whether readers can easily understand the intended message. Uh, for example, in an argumentative essay, a writer may begin with a claim, provide supporting evidence, address opposing views, and finally present a conclusion. A discourse analysis would examine how these parts are connected and how language is used to persuade readers. For example, many students prefer online learning because it is flexible. Furthermore, it allows students to access materials anytime and anywhere. Okay, so in this example, the word furthermore functions as a cohesive device that links the second sentence to the first and creates coherence within the text. Therefore, written discourse analysis helps us understand not only what is written, but also how the text is achieved in its communicative purpose. Okay, next question, question number two. Is it important to carry out written discourse analysis? Why? And explain your answer in detail and give example. Okay, so yes, written discourse analysis is very important because it helps writers and readers understand how effective texts are constructed. It provides insight into the principles that make a text coherent, cohesive, and easy to understand. Like the first, discourse analysis helps writers organize their ideas logically. So a well-structured text enables reader to follow the writer's message without confusion. And the second, it helps identify the use of cohesion and coherence, and writer also can learn how to connect ideas through grammatical and lexical devices, and making their writing more natural and readable. And the third, discourse analysis reveals common text patterns used in different genres, such as essays, reports, speeches, and articles. And by understanding these patterns, learners can produce texts that meet academic and professional standards. And the fourth, discourse analysis assists teachers in developing authentic teaching materials based on real language use. So, students can learn how native speakers organize text in actual communication context. For example, the for example, like I'll make the paragraph like Indonesian face many educational challenges. Therefore, the government should increase educational funding. As a result, school can improve facilities and learning quality. So the connectors, therefore, and as a result, create logical relationships between ideas. Through discourse analysis, students learn why these expressions make the paragraph more coherent. In short, written discourse analysis is important. Discourse analysis is important because it improves reading comprehension, writing ability, and understanding of how language functions in real life written communication. Okay, next question. Are the approaches used in spoken discourse and written discourse the same or different? Explain your answer in detail. And my answer is that the approaches used in spoken discourse analysis and written discourse analysis are related, but they are different because spoken and written communication have different characteristics and purposes. Like spoken discourse focuses on interaction between speakers, and it examines the response patterns such as initiation, response, and follow up. And there is also like turn taking, interruptions, questioning strategies, and communication functions. So the emphasis is on how participants interact and negotiate meaning during communication. For example, when there's a person say, "How are you?" or initiation, and the other person will say, "I'm fine, thank you," for the response, and the person that asked question then respond also, "That's good to hear," or the follow up. So this pattern shows how spoken discourse is organized through interaction. In contrast, a written discourse analysis focuses on text organization, cohesion, coherence, lexical choices, and grammatical patterns, and text structures, of course. So, since written communication usually lacks immediate interaction, the analysis emphasizes how ideas are connected within a text. For example, the weather was terrible, therefore, the event was postponed. The word therefore creates a logical relationship between the two sentences. So it's the right linking word that is. Okay, next questions. What do you think of Keiko's methodology in carrying out written discourse analysis? And do you agree with it? Of course, I agree with Keiko's methodology because it provides a comprehensive framework for analyzing written discourse through both microanalysis and macroanalysis. Microanalysis focuses on linguistic elements such as vocabulary, grammar, and cohesive devices. This approach helps identify how sentences are connected and how meaning is created at the sentence level. Meanwhile, macroanalysis focuses on the overall organization of text, including text patterns and structures. It examines how ideas are arranged throughout the entire text to achieve communicative goals. And the combination of these two approaches is beneficial because a good text requires both accurate language use and effective organization. A text may contain correct grammar but still be difficult to understand if its ideas are poorly organized. Likewise, a well organized text may still be ineffective if it contains grammatical errors and weak cohesion. For example, when analyzing an argumentative essay, microanalysis examines transition signals such as however, therefore, in addition, or for instance, and macroanalysis examines whether the essay follows a logical structure such as introduction, arguments, counterarguments, and conclusions. Therefore, Keiko's methodology provides a balanced and effective way to analyze written discourse comprehensively. Okay, last questions, or question number 5 is, what do you know of microanalysis of written discourse? And is it relevant to satisfy the need of regularities among non-native English writers? Explain your answers in detail. Okay, like I said before in the previous answer, microanalysis of written discourse refers to the examination of language features at the sentence and word levels. According to Keiko, 2001, microanalysis focuses on vocabulary, grammar, cohesion, lexical relations, and grammatical regularities within a text. So, the purpose of microanalysis is to understand how linguistic elements contribute to the overall coherence and readability of a text. It examines the specific language choices that writers use to connect ideas and create meaning. Some aspects commonly analyzed include vocabulary choice, grammatical structures, reference device pronouns, conjunctions, lexical repetition, synonyms, and collocations. For example, Maria bought a new laptop. She uses it. She uses it every day for studying. So in this example, she refers to Maria. It refers to a new laptop. These references create cohesion between the sentences. And I believe microanalysis is highly relevant for non-native English writers because it helps them understand the linguistic regularities commonly used by native speakers. Many non-native writers struggle with cohesion, sentence connections, and appropriate vocabulary choices. But through microanalysis, they can learn how English texts naturally connect ideas and maintain coherence. For example, many learners write like this. I was sick. I did not come to school. My teacher understood. But a more cohesive version would be I was sick. Therefore, I did not come to school. Fortunately, my teacher understood my situation. The second version is more coherent because it uses cohesive devices to connect ideas logically. Therefore, microanalysis is very useful for non-native English writers because it helps them produce more natural, coherent, and readable English texts that follow common linguistic patterns used by native speakers. Okay, maybe that's all for my explanation. Thank you very much for your attention, and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.